Just rock and roll.
Yep.
All right. For those who wish to recite it, say the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. And I will call to order this meeting of the Fergus Falls School Board, ISD 544, and ask the clerk to please establish a quorum.
All right. Kirby Anderson.
Present.
Kelly Graff.
Here.
Jenny Christensen.
Present.
Missy Hermes here. Melanie Cole. Stephen Vigasa. We have a quorum.
Thank you. And does anybody wish to motion to approve tonight's agenda?
So moved.
We have a second?
I'll second.
All right. And then we take a vote. Yes. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. All right. And the motion is approved. All right, we will move on to a resolution on acknowledgements. We would like to thank the Kiwanis Club of Otter Risers for their donation to the Fergus Falls Public Schools to purchase ribbons for the middle school speech meet. Also to Lake Region Healthcare for their donation of Band-Aids to student survival kits for the One Book, One School event at Fergus Falls Public Schools. Also to Nelson Auto for their donation of flashlight keychains for student survival kits for the One Book, One School event at Fergus Falls Public Schools. And lastly, to the Otter PTO for their donation of books and materials for the One Book, One School event at Fergus Falls Public Schools. Would someone like to offer this resolution and move for its adoption?
I'll offer that resolution and move for its adoption.
And a second?
Second.
All right, and then clerk will take roll.
Stephen Vigasa.
Yes.
Kirby Anderson.
Yes.
Kelly Graff.
Yes.
Jenny Christensen.
Yes.
Missy Hermes. Yes. The resolution is adopted.
Thank you. And now we will move on to our reports for the evening, starting with John Steinbrenner from Lincoln Elementary.
Hi, good evening, everybody. It's nice to be here tonight, and it's 5:16, and the sun's in my eyes, so that's good news. That means
Yeah,
we're
right.
climbing our way into spring. This is really nice. I wanted to take a few moments tonight just to talk about some of the things that are happening at Lincoln School that are more so tied to some home and community relationships things. I know that that's one of our district goals this year as far as community relations and marketing, and I feel like some of the things that are happening right now at our school are just worth noting. And I'll share this. Some of them are really just common sense things that are happening each and every day that are making Lincoln School kind of a warm and welcoming place for people to get there. Most notably, each and every day there is a parent drop-off in the morning, which seems like maybe a small thing, but it's an opportunity for our preschool through first grade families to come into the building to connect with their teachers. And so often that does happen. Certainly at the preschool level, that is, it's a requirement, but it's kind of a handy requirement in that they don't get the opportunity to drop off at the sidewalk because it's not yet safe. But at the same time, each and every day, that's that personal connection with families and teachers. Along with that, we have our early childhood family education classes where parents are entering into the building each and every week and spending that time with Fergus Falls Public School programming and teachers, and are there with them in that setting. And from a 2 and 3 year old child standpoint, then that becomes imprinted on them that is their school and that's their community school, and they will be there up through age 7. At least that's our hope, starting at early childhood family ed and going all the way through first grade at Lincoln School. We also have some nice parent volunteer opportunities that are happening within the Otter preschool programming, especially at table time. It just provides that opportunity for parents to participate with their child during the day, but also that parent then gets the opportunity to see some of the things that are happening in the classroom. I say parent, oftentimes what we see are grandparents too, which is really nice from a multi-generational standpoint. At the kindergarten and first grade level, just some highlights from over the course of the year. During the fall, near the end of October, early November, we have our fall festival. We have a number of families that come in to participate in that. And it just ends up being where maybe one of the 10 elementary teachers that we have there on site kind of has a specialty day. Some are focused more on the fall. Some others have winter activities. And then just last week, we had some special Valentine's Day activities where families had the chance to come in. So teachers are really, really intentional about providing those opportunities for families to come in. Along with that, we've talked before about some guest readers that have had the chance to come in. I've seen a number of school board members, but then also parents and grandparents and community members that are just invested in the education of our community's children, taking time out of their day to share their love of reading, and that's been really nice. We've shared before about the opportunities for community engagement, and that's collaborations with Otter Cove, Prairie Wetlands Learning Center, the Historical Society. All of those relationships have been in place for a number of years, but our teachers are working really hard also to maintain those positive relationships with our community. I'm going to leave now because I also want to share some information about this upcoming school year. So one big adjustment that we have made as far as getting a higher level of community engagement is we've shifted our meet and greet. So from me standing in front of folks for a half hour, 45 minutes and sharing information to more of an open house model. So that's a decision that was made in response to community members expressing, hey, we'd just like the opportunity to come in and see some classrooms and get the chance to talk with some teachers at our own pace, and then also recognizing that historically we've had that separation where families and children parted ways, and we had the adult conversation, and teachers had the kid conversation, and that ended up being somewhat uncomfortable for some families, and for all the right reasons. And so that's more of a non-separating event now, and it's really more open house, and we will have stations set up throughout Lincoln School where people get the chance to ask the questions that they want to ask and receive the information that they were hoping to get on that day. And it'll be a change. It's worth trying, but it's something that we're really looking forward to. The theme of the event is Candyland, so it's all going to be based on a Candyland game, which is age appropriate. Might not necessarily align with our nutritional goals, but I don't think that there's going to be too much candy being exchanged. It's more so aligned with the game itself. So it's something that will be fun and that we're looking forward to. With regard to kindergarten enrollment, I'm pleased to report that we already have 89 families who have pre-registered for next year. And that's an increase from 48 at this time last year. Now that doesn't mean that we're going to have more students. We hope that it does. But if anything, we're getting our information out there and accessible to folks earlier than in years past. But that's really nice to see those pre-registrations come in, and that can certainly help us as a district plan for this upcoming school year with the enrollment that we're seeing. We talked last time about a capture rate, and we decided maybe that wasn't our favorite term. So when we look at enrollment, an enrollment rate, that's about 46% of the overall census. So our census for that cohort of students is 195, and we've already pre-enrolled 46% of those students. So something that we're really proud of, and a special thanks to Jana Johnson at Lincoln School, who's just done a great job of communicating with the public. Shifting then to our preschool, just to give folks a heads up. Right now we're at 85% capacity. I think I shared that last time, and we've begun to see some of those enrollments roll in for next year. That doesn't end up being maybe as fast as, say, a kindergarten enrollment, just because people are weighing out the options and trying to consider what they'd like to see as far as their preschool experience. So we still do have a number of seats available, but yet we're seeing a strong response on our preschool registration as well. With regard to that transition from preschool into kindergarten, one thing that I wanted to highlight, and and I think that we've talked about this at least in small pockets, but one thing that the public will learn about and really has learned about through our mailing communication is that cohort for our youngest learners. So we have a number of children with June, July, and August birthdays. And the example that I keep using is, a child who turns 6 on September 2nd really has had far more life experiences than a child who just turned 5 on August 31st. And so what we're looking to do is just to provide an opportunity for families to feel more comfortable with that June, July, August birthday, to have their children enrolled in kindergarten if they're ready. We still have the option for them to remain in outer preschool, but we also want to highlight that from a kindergarten standpoint, we're ready for you if you are ready to send your child, even if they are still quite young. So that's something that we are piloting for this upcoming school year, pending enrollment. And as I've mentioned before, there are 60 children right now on the census who have those June, July, August birthdays. So quite a few of them, and I think we can provide programming for those youngest kiddos that will put us in a good position. With that, that's what I have prepared for you today. If there are any questions, I'm happy to do my best to answer those now.
John, what was the dates on the meet and greet open house?
That was Friday, March 6th, and that's one session starts at 9 o'clock, and then the next session starts at 10:30.
Okay. Thank you.
I do want to mention that the junior kindergarten program that we're piloting, I think that is an excellent idea. I hope that families can take advantage of it. I also think it kind of puts us up above other districts that may not be able to offer that. I think that is an excellent thing for our district to offer.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions for John? Awesome. Thank
Thanks
you.
so much.
All right, next I will welcome Scott Colbeck with McKinley and Adams Elementary.
Good evening, good to see you. A month ago when I was here, I shared a photo or a picture with you of a mural that was painted at McKinley School by Anna Fremont. She's one of our employees. Since that time, she's painted another mural. So I brought another photo for you that I'm going to pass around. I think this one, she had a little over 50 hours into it. This one highlights our McKinley All-Star students, and so I'm just, picture's worth 1,000 words. So thank you to Anna Fremont, our student support aide, for sharing her gift of creation with us. Something we're really excited about that's going to kick off 1 week from today is our One School, One Book effort. It's really maybe 3 schools, 1 book, because this is for our first, second, and third graders. Our book this year is titled The Secret Explorers and the Comet Collision. And here's what it's about. When a space probe experiences problems near Jupiter, it is up to the secret explorers to try to fix it. And with the clock ticking, Roshni and Ollie attempt a daring spacewalk, but something is hurtling through space toward them. So this is the book, thanks to PTO, that every student is going to get on Monday. They don't know that this is the book yet, so I'm hoping that they don't watch school board meetings on TV. But this will arrive. This will arrive in a package, and they'll open the package on Monday, and then they're going to all gather for an assembly, and somebody dressed in a costume is going to read the first chapter of this book to them. So I thought the great reveal.
No way.
I have not opened this yet, so we're going to find out who that guest reader is, who will be wearing this. Again, now we're in outer space in this book, right?
Oh, wow, many parts.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Yep. Whoever it is going to be fairly tall, I think.
I think that'll fit Kirby really well.
Okay, this must be the, oh yeah, the headpiece. Look at that. So that'll be great. Some gloves, glasses. We're gonna have a lot of fun to kick off One School, One Book on Monday. So I think the rest of my report, I think I'm just gonna hold this in my right hand.
You can set it down.
So I asked Jamie Lill, our PE teacher at McKinley, if she would just write up a blurb that I could read to you about what's called the Kids Heart Challenge. This is at McKinley School. So she wrote, on February 5th, McKinley School kicked off our annual Kids Heart Challenge with an energizing all-school assembly. And the Kids Heart Challenge is partially a physical heart-pumping jumping unit in PE classes and part fundraiser for the American Heart Association. There are always little incentives along the way, including prizes or rewards, such as being Mrs. Lill's teaching assistant for the day. There's also a large school goal that upon reaching, Mrs. Lill gets slimed and pied in the face by students. And our school goal this year was to raise $7,000. We're just wrapping up, and we are approaching the $9,000 mark. So there is indeed a sliming in the future for Mrs. Lill. Way to go, McKinley School. So a lot of fun, and that started off the start of the month. Thank you to Jamie for leading that effort. Last week on Tuesday, remember we didn't have school Monday. On Tuesday, we bused all of our kids from McKinley and Adams. It took 9 buses. Bust them all over at the same time to our wonderful auditorium, our 1969 fabulous auditorium. And we were treated to a play by TheaterWorks USA. It was titled The Magic School Bus, Lost in the Solar System. Ironically, not that it just happened this way, that the solar system theme and then our book now coming up next week, we're all outer space, a lot of outer space going on right now. But this play I've seen a lot of school performances and a lot of plays. This was the best one that I think I've ever seen. And I was able to, after we got all the kids on the buses getting back to the schools, I was able to go backstage and tell the cast as much. That it was wonderful, it was fantastic, had a chance to talk to them. Asked them where they would be the next day, and they said they would be performing in Eau Claire, Wisconsin the next day. But they gave 2 performances. One of the ways I could judge how great it was is usually when there's a performance, at some point in time, there's kind of a dull moment, and you'll notice a lot of movement amongst all of the kids in the auditorium. There was never a time where there was a lot of movement and shuffling. The kids were fully engaged for all 54 minutes. And there were many reasons for it. One of the reasons was the background music was at just the right volume, so you could hear every word and every song sung. And they were very articulate in their speech. And it was just great. So I don't know if anybody, maybe Mrs. Run is going to mention that experience, but it was fantastic. And again, thank you to our PTO for sponsoring that event. 2 more things. I Love to Read Month is celebrated throughout the entire month of February. It's a nationwide initiative. I want to thank all of our guest readers who come into our schools during the month of February to read. Earlier this month, I had a chance to visit every 1st and 2nd grade classroom and read 2 stories to them. My sister's a retired 1st grade teacher. I got a lot of her books. One of them, ironically, was titled, I Don't Like to Read. And I read that book to the kids. And it's okay, because by the end of the story, the student who didn't like to read really did like to read. Lastly, all of our 1st graders recently visited our museum, our county museum. And I had never attended, and I did this year. And I enjoyed myself, and I'm glad I did. Besides exploring the museum and seeing all of the exhibits, the other part of what we did is we got to sit down and learn from Missy Hermes about a little girl in our community named Izzy, who was born in 1878. And so we heard about her life story in Fergus Falls and actually saw some of her true belongings, like her shoes and her ice skates and things like that. So a lot of fun for the building principal, but for the 1st graders and the staff too. So thank you for that part, Ms. Hermes. And that's my report for this evening.
Scott, I had the chance last week on Wednesday to go out to the prairie wetlands with the third graders as a chaperone, and it's always fun. It was kind of cold and a little windy, but kids are all well behaved, and the staff are troopers out there as well as the kids in the cold. And we got to go out on the ice and cut a hole in the ice and see how thick the ice was. And it's fun to see that. So thanks to the staff for riding herd on their kids outside there.
Yeah, thank you.
17 inches of ice too, by the way. So
Yeah,
it was
good.
very safe.
We try to get all of our third graders out to the prairie 7 times over the course of the school year. It helps those kids make an informed decision going into 4th grade and 5th grade. Do I want to be a part of that program?
Any other questions? Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
All right, I will welcome Tindy Rund from Cleveland Elementary.
All right, good evening. And I'm going to just pick up where that conversation left off and kind of do my report in reverse order. I would like to just share that we are in the preliminary stages of sharing information about that 4th grade opportunity for 3rd graders. So we'll be sending this out to families, just an overview of what the Prairie Science class program is about. And then we'll be asking them to help make a decision for their child and what their preference is, so they can indicate what their preference is as far as their participation and interest in Prairie Science class for 4th and 5th grade. So that's coming up in the next couple of weeks. And additionally, another opportunity that we're going to be marketing, hopefully, beyond, outside of our region even, is the Compass to Nature workshop that's provided to educators and people interested in environmental education. That takes place the fourth week in June this year. And in conjunction with that, there is a summer explorers biology camp that is open for students going into 5th and 6th grade. So the students attend that same week that the adults are there, because then the adults have that opportunity to learn how that instruction and those activities take place with students. So a couple things that we're spreading the word about here very, very shortly. And then I do have to agree with Mr. Colbeck. The musical that was performed last week was top-notch. The students, all 8, it was appropriate for early learners all the way through 5th grade, and the students really, really enjoyed it. And it's lots of bright colors and light, and just enjoyable. Giggles and serious, and there were several jokes that the adults in the audience got that kind of went past some of the kids, so we all enjoyed it. Very, very well done. And then I just want to acknowledge too, it's the end of 2nd trimester here, and not this week, but the end of next week. So we are all geared up. We've communicated with families about conferences on March 9th and 16th. We look forward to conferencing with families and talking about their students' growth, areas for continued growth, and just making some forecasting for next year as well. So we look forward to that and encourage all families to schedule a time that's going to work well for them online. So it's a system that's working really well. And then February, Cleveland School had 2 big events taking place over the month of February. Last time I was here, I brought our One School, One Book title with us. And this coming Friday, we are going to wrap that up. Today at school, we read chapters 18 and 19. And Mark, a 5th grade student in the book, is out in the woods, supposed to be using his map and his compass and following the trail, and he becomes disoriented and loses the trail, and the weather becomes chilly and the sun sets and the sky is overcast, and the setting was just beautifully set. So we could talk about how is Mark feeling, and what is he going to do. And at the end of chapter 19, he decides that he's going to need to just hunker down for the night because he is confused. So that's where the story left off, and students are bringing their books home tonight to read the next chapter before we read that together on Thursday, and with the conclusion on Friday. And as you heard in the thank yous, businesses in the community donated special items that the students will receive in their survival kits on Friday. We have a guest speaker, an adventure, some young man coming to read the last chapter with students on Friday, and then he's going to be spending some time with each of the classes next week, bringing some of his gear with him. So kids will get to hear some more about his adventures, put it that way. And then also during February, we've had Friendship Fridays in February. And as we know, these middle childhood years, their friendships start to deepen, and they're not just convenient friends that your families are friends with or are next door neighbors, but they find friends that share similar interests. There's some new opportunities that present themselves at this age, and kids are learning how to be a good friend, how to seek out good friends, and all those dynamics that go with friendships. Problem solving, peer feedback, squabbles, even just sharing friends, or you don't always have to sit by your best friend at the lunch table. There's ways to make other friends. So we embrace that, and all the while we continue to nurture their self-esteem, resiliency, some of those relationship skills. So each Friday in February we get to do a dress-up day. We don't participate with the high school homecoming events and dress-up days during those days, but once a week it is really manageable and the kids really look forward to it. So this coming Friday, kind of to go hand in hand with the theme of our adventure, we're going to seek out good friendships, and everybody's going to wear camouflage. So we look forward to that as well. So with that concludes my report.
Any questions for Tindy?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, and I will welcome Ivan Hurst from the middle school.
Hello, hi everybody. Like to start my report with a quick update on BAR. You have our most recent data at the last board meeting, but we had our BAR visit, our third visit of 4 visits that were scheduled for. That happened on February 12th. Coach Sarah was here, and she was able to watch some small block meetings, big block meetings, and she also had the opportunity to observe a number of I-time lessons. And then in the afternoon, she got to sit down with the middle school team, the office team, Mr. Johnson, Mrs. Johnson, Ms. Grabowska, myself, and kind of digest and give us some feedback as well. So I just wanted to recognize a couple highlights that Sarah mentioned specifically. The first one, I just have 4 here, but the 7th grade team was really active with their student goals and interventions, and they've really embraced the BAR meetings and just really went full steam ahead, so that's been really good. The 8th grade team has asked, during this particular observation, asked really good clarifying questions to better understand the student concern, so they were really more interested in drilling down into the problem and better understanding the concern. The 6th grade gold team, they put a lot of effort into leveling their students. If you recall, a 0 student needs no adult intervention. 1 is 1, 2 is 2, and 3 is, all hands on deck. But they put a lot of effort into leveling and then reviewing and re-leveling based on new information that they had. So that was a really big positive. And then she was very complimentary of Mr. Kosak in science and Ms. Peterson in math for their I-time presentations. She especially noted that they really personalized the presentation. No matter the CAN curriculum, it just works a little better if you put your own spin on it with your own experiences. And she noted that right away, so kudos to them. All in all, a really good visit. We have one more coming in about 2 months. So, math counts, you may have seen this, but we had some 7th, 8th grade students participate in the regional math counts competition at Moorhead State. Thank you to Mrs. Steer for bringing students and promoting math in our middle school. Congratulations to the team of Olivia Molstry, Kaden Kars, Josh Eklund, and Riker Seedorf. They have 2nd place, and they're going to the state competition. So I'm really thankful for that. Shepard Hintz was recently selected to be in an audition orchestra with MinSOTA, which stands for Minnesota String and Orchestra Teachers Association. So that was really special for him. They're a very musical family, so no surprise. So he rehearsed down in Roseville on February 13th. Just today, we had West Central here, West Central area schools. They came to see our 6th grade teachers teach math for one of rotation each, so just a couple hours they could get back and make a half a day visit out of it. And I had the opportunity to visit with them real briefly, and they're just really thankful for us opening our doors and welcoming them into our school. So it'll be interesting to see what they have to say. And continuing on our district goals, which you're well aware of, but our MCA scores are really important to us. So we hold our class meetings every month with each grade level, 6th, 7th, and 8th, and we promoted that with students this year. We talked about the importance of MCAs, why they're important to myself, our teachers, our community, and I was just going to read the top 3 that we talked about real briefly. MCAs are a data point that are used for recommendation into placement into higher level classes, but also into remediation. So we talked a little bit about what that meant. That was a lot of stuff right there. We also care about these tests because we want to ensure that Fergus Falls Middle School teachers are teaching the right stuff and students are learning the correct content. That's another big check. That's probably the most important thing for us because it's usable data that we can use. And then, this was the easiest one for me, but we're competing against other schools to be the best. And I said, who wants to beat Alexandria? And they all raised their hand. And who wants to beat Detroit Lakes? And they all raised their hand. Well, we're going to have a brain contest. Who can do the best on the test? So we have all those things. And then we're cooking up a school-wide incentive. Mr. Johnson and I, we're not going to share it right now because it'll be a kind of a fun, I don't know if it'll be as cool as the outfit that Mr. Colbeck's going to, or whoever's going to wear, sorry. But we'll have a little reveal for that too to try to stir up a little extra enthusiasm into our MCA testing. Moving on to Saturday school, we have scheduled 8 sessions. We had 4, and it worked this year that we had all 4 Saturdays in February. Really easy to remember. And we've had about 30 students attending. We had 57 total referrals in the grades combined, and we've had about 30 students there. So that's really good. The highlight of that is that 13 have finished their work that they should have did the first time. So we're really proud of that. Because we've been sending weekly reminders to the parents using their student IDs and our system for emails and calls. Just trying to let parents know, yes, it's really happening. No, it's not canceled. All the things that kids will come up with. So we've been doing that every week on Thursdays as a reminder to parents to get their students there. And it's worked pretty good. That's been pretty good. We also met with kids who didn't attend the first 2 sessions, and 7 of the 9 of those attended then this session. Of course, we missed some other ones. So I just want to talk a little bit about that. Really great progress to have 13 finished up already. Upcoming events. In the middle school, we have our choir concerts on Thursday. The 6th grade concert is at 11:30, right before lunch, right before recess, so the hair stays good, because that's important. And then the 7th and 8th grades in the evening at 7 p.m. March 3rd, next Tuesday, is the middle school orchestra concert. We have parent-teacher conferences that are coming up, and then really, in a blink, it'll be the end of quarter 3 with spring break week. So things are just moving right along in the middle school. Any questions?
Thank you, Ivan. And now I will welcome Mark Anderson from the high school, the ALC, and IQ Academy.
Good evening. How's everybody doing? I will start with the ALC. Ms. Johnson would like to thank the ALC staff. They've had some illness with the staff, so everybody's been plugging in, helping out in preps and giving up those opportunities during the day. Stephanie Cloud, one of the students at the ALC, is MAP leadership, so she had her opportunity to continue to go and connect with MDE. She did that on February 18th, and she's is giving information on supporting alternative education and why it's important. Carrie talked about service, customer service, number of surveys and things that are being worked on. They're starting to collect information within the school day with their leadership team and their teachers. Some of the things that they've collected go with Compass, the things that we're working with, IQ, and I'm also working with them at the high school. And they're also doing some world savvy things, and I'll connect with that in a little bit. Some of the things that they're seeing as positive comments include relationships and activities at the LC, things they'd like to see improve, new formats for staff meetings, and continued growth in staff and student connections. Staff PLCs and advisories are working on new activities for their advisory opportunities, changing some of the things they've done in the past to something new. Staff meetings they're experimenting with new formats. They're going to add a few weekly, once a week, not daily, short meetings for just staff to kind of catch up and get the information because their time on once a month gets short, and they don't always get done in time, and they end up having to take off. So they're working on that opportunity. Carrie said they're really enjoying that, short bursts, keeping in touch with each other. They're also, with the dyslexia testing that came up, they've had some conversations about bringing an expert in for that. And their monthly meetings, like I said, are going to continue to add the same things they've had, do the weekly ones. They are working with the World Savvy coaches and isolating opportunities for staff to come in and work with them on just building their own toolboxes in their classrooms and work on their standards-based opportunities they have in their building right now. Some of the things that they're working on in marketing, they do have enrollment from IQ student has come to them, so that's nice. We were talking about some students possibly coming down to the ALC from the high school that are probably at a point in time, especially freshmen, not freshmen, sophomores, and juniors who need to get down that direction to start recovering some credits. So they're working hard in our conversations on Tuesdays with that. After school credit recovery attendance is very low, so we're having conversations on is there a better way to do that, and if kids aren't coming, is there a way that we can make a change that offers them the ability to come and make that happen? Because we certainly don't want it to start happening in the last 3 weeks before graduation, because then it drives everybody into insanity. And they'll determine some of the things that they need to do with after school with some of the conversations with kids in their advisory and in their leadership opportunity within the building. Carrie is excited. The ALC was awarded a grant for the World Savvy for the next 3 years. So it's an educational group that comes in and helps make change. So it'll work with the Compass program that they're working on. And it's a non-evaluated opportunity to have coaches come in the classroom and help coach staff up. It's not an evaluation, it's just the things that are going well, things that they may want to tighten up in their classroom as far as instruction. So they're really excited about that piece. And this week is annual advisory Olympics, so they're enjoying those opportunities. Volleyball, cornhole, 100-piece puzzle, tug of war, and the ultimate football. So that'll be interesting. I wonder if they're going outside for that or not. But it's not very nice out right now, it's temperature-wise. So
adds to the challenge.
Yes. The IQ Academy. Right now, Ryan and his staff is working on the regional culture of excellence, like the ALC and I'm working through with the high school on a comprehensive needs assessment. Part of that process is working on a survey to students, staff, and parents. We've done some of that in the past. They're working on honing that in. Another piece they're looking at is some MCA assessments coming up and how they're going to do the assessment and the testing in March and April. Leadership team is determining on Friday to finalize that information that's going out in the surveys, and then also how are they going to do testing. Ryan doesn't want to go to 500 different places for testing. It makes no sense. So he's going to look at doing less testing locations than in the past. Some parents may have to drive a little further, but it doesn't make sense for him to drive 180 miles for one student if they can come to us in a location closer to us. So they're working through that piece. Last year they had 155 parents respond to their survey, and they're starting to get that information out, so they get that again this year. And they're also going to send that information for the testing out so they know if parents are going to plan to attend or if they're not going to. So it's kind of like an opt-out or opt-in option. So he'll start aligning testing on that information that they receive. They are working on some of the events in their marketing. They have their ice skating last week. Unfortunately, I went to the principals meeting down in St. Cloud. Didn't get over to the ice arena to skate with them, but Ryan said they had about 20 or 25 families there. They do the Mall of America, and they'll do that in May again. That one's usually attended pretty heavily. He keeps asking me to go. This might be the year I attend. I haven't been to the Mall of America for a while. And then one of the big barriers they have is a lot of our kids are from the cities on IQ. Driving 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes is not something a lot of parents are looking to do, so I'm trying to figure out some of the other landing pieces. K-Stride did change their landing page, so the adjustment of what it looks like for students and parents came out, and the staff did a really nice job of making the adjustments and getting that up and sharing it with families, so it was something they knew was going to happen, and they've done a nice job of getting it out effectively for our students. They had the ice skating piece on the 20th, midterms are the 27th, and parent-teacher conference are coming up March 2nd and the 5th. And testing and spring break, March 23rd through the 27th. So good things happening there. At the high school, I'll start with some recognitions. We had some kids in the CTE program and Skills Fest up in Wilmer attend. Andrew DeNoble took first place in Auto Tech. Chase Gronk took third place in Auto Tech. And then Libby Diesler, Chris Shawn Anderson, Sienna Middlestead took first place in the nursing portion. So some of our kids were hands-on and opportunities with some of our staff doing outstanding jobs getting them ready for that competition. We have our community partnership with RDO through both our CTE teachers and Mr. Hill. Mr. Hikus took his Autos 2 class out there to see diesel mechanics, to see if any of our kids are interested in that program. And they do a nice job of offering kids opportunities out there through a variety of ways. So it was nice to see them out there looking at green tractors at RDO. The PAY program, our philanthropy and youth, has been out for the last 2 weeks visiting 8 different nonprofit organizations. They are going to be determining how they distribute their $6,000 to 5 different groups. So this is always an interesting part of the year. They go out and give information, and then that group has to present to them on why they deserve $1,000 or additional money. Our kids do a great job, so I'm excited to see how that works and who gets the money from our pay group this school year. One of the other big things that are starting this year is the 540 Fire Foundation is going to do the Generation of Otters project. So if you're a former graduate of Fergus Falls High School and you have a senior graduating this year, they want all the pictures of those grandparents, uncles, aunts, all those pieces in there to show the long alumni connections and the multi-generational Otter pride. So I sent that out last week in an email, and I sent it out last week also for Mindy through the weekly updates. So it will be interesting to see how many pictures we get at graduation time that might be scrolling through and seeing the number of generations that are happening. One of the other things that we were working on is customer service. Continue to work on opportunities for academic updates and transitions during trimesters, getting information out to parents, increased outreach during registration, and really focusing with families on that opportunity of career and college readiness. We purposely put the career first, because no matter if you go to college or not, you're really working towards a career. And students like to hear that we're not always focused on just the college-going students. We do it each trimester. One of the student leadership opportunities is trying to get kids out. We had 4 kids take a day off of school with Devaney Smith and go out to Lakes Country in a leadership opportunity about what should we do for Fergus Falls High School. They're working on a program. They're trying to see if they can get something implemented around intramurals and some study help after school, all run by students. So Ms. Smith and I are hands off. It's all about if they're willing to go do that work. So we're working on those opportunities with our kids. Ensuring consistent communication across that piece is difficult because Devaney and I are stepping back. We're pointing them in the direction to go, so they have to meet with Devaney at a certain point each couple of weeks to see if they've made their contacts. So continue to do that. It's an opportunity to share that with our community and support some of our other students in the building. One of the things we're working on is marketing. We're working hard. We have a lot of kids out and about in our building. They go out and work in work-based learning. They go to other schools for programming, reading. Our teachers do a great job getting our kids into the community. Some of the things that we promoted CTE and achievements publicly lately. We also shared M-State Blue and Gold program for juniors and seniors. Any senior with a 3.0 and is a graduate of Fergus Falls High School and goes to M-State in Fergus has the opportunity to go to college for free. So we've really pushed that hard. The counselors are connecting with their students that are seniors, and in senior presentations, parents were being told about that, and they're always happy to go for zero cost to go to school. One of the things that we've worked hard on, as of next year, we'll have over 100 college credits offered in our high school. We're going to be 1 credit short for our 40 Minnesota transfer credits and 1 credit short for the 60 AA on campus. So we're already working on how do we get that credit here so our kids never have to leave campus and get an AA degree. We also continue to highlight our career and technical education pathways. We have a lot of opportunities for kids in programming that way. Currently, we run 48 different CTE classes in our high school, and we want our community to know that, with 96 classes total taught by our CTE teachers. We are working on completing that high school brochure that will have some CTE in there, and then all of what we do. So that'll be coming out hopefully shortly. Hannah and I are finishing that up. And we want to strengthen our message around the college credit and workforce and scholarship opportunities for our kids once they leave us, so they know what their plans are after high school. And one of the things that we've done to do that is to have our seniors present to their senior honor time teachers, which takes about 15 to 20 minutes and talks about their life after high school. It really gets mom and dad in that conversation of what's the plan for the kid, either career, college, military gap. I was fortunate enough to have 31 seniors with me this year that are PSEO students that had to come in and present. One of them asked for help, does not want to go to college. Mom and dad weren't listening very well during the presentation, so I had to interject a few times. Let her go to work, let her take care of that. She'll go back out and be just fine. It'll be okay. But it's a courageous conversation by the young lady, and I was glad she had it. As the middle school has concerts, we have some coming up here, and both band and orchestra and choir coming up here. Tonight we have the choir concert, so when we're done down here, I'm going to jog really quickly up to the high school and watch that. And on my attachment, we are getting into that time of the year for testing. We start with ACT and ASVAB, and then we have MCA testing coming up after that. So we think things slow down after registration. I don't think it happens that way, and things just keep going and get busy. So that's what I have for tonight. Any questions?
I did want to mention your student leaders, looking into like the intramural programs and
Yep.
stuff. I would highly suggest having them talk to Stephanie Grow
Okay.
at the YMCA, because
All
I
right.
know she's super interested in getting involved in that.
All right,
So,
I will
yeah.
send myself an email on that.
Yeah. Any
Mark,
other
I just,
questions?
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I just had a comment on Otter Time. I was visiting with one of our students' family members the other day, and she told me that it was her niece that's a junior this year, and she said when she started ninth grade, she really felt that she was at risk, and she's had the same Otter Time teacher now for going on 3 years, and she said if it wasn't for that Otter Time teacher, she would have probably dropped out. So it really does make a difference, and it's fun to hear, it's good to hear, it's rewarding to hear family members say that about that program. So anyways, there's lots of stories out there like that. I
Yep.
just wanted to share that particular one.
And the interesting piece of the Otter Time is, as freshmen, both the teachers and staff struggle at times together because that's a new relationship, and a lot of times it takes until about third trimester for the kids and the teacher to really fall into place with each other.
Yeah.
They know each other. Like that junior class, that was the first we implemented. They know their plans after high school already. So.
Yeah, and that's what this family member said. She said that her niece has had the same advisor for 3 years now and had a multitude of different teachers, but always that one constant.
Yep. Thank you.
Also, sorry, one more thing. For those who aren't aware, the PAY students have a Facebook page now, and so you can follow along with the different groups that they're going to talk to, which has really been interesting for me, because I know last year it was just like at the end you kind of heard about everything. But it's been really cool to kind of follow along with what they're learning about the different nonprofits in our community. So highly recommend following that if you
Yes.
can.
They
It's
do
pretty
an
cool.
awesome job, and I'm hoping for the 4th year in a row we get a $25,000 scholarship.
Awesome. Any other questions?
Got one more on pay. There's also another piece of pay, and if there are nonprofits out there that have a project that they want to get accomplished this summer, there is an internship program that pay also subsidizes and covers. So it's basically one of our students that would work with them for most of the summer. I think 4 days a week, 32 hours a week, and but it's got to be a specific project-based type thing. So, and there's a packet, and I know I have a packet. I think our pay advisor has a packet too. If somebody's listening and wants to know how to do it.
Any other questions?
Have a
Thanks,
great
Mark.
night.
All right, and last and certainly not least, Jeff Drake, Superintendent.
Yeah, good evening. Just want to say a huge thank you to Otter Tail coaches. Last Wednesday was School Bus Driver Appreciation Day, and our elementary students typically will make some cards to give to their bus drivers as a thank you. I want to just especially thank the organization for their cooperation in transporting our students. They are the first face that our students see in the morning, the last one they see when they're dropped off. They go out in all kinds of weather, including when I make poor weather decisions. So I appreciate their steadfast commitment and their priority in safely transporting our kids and the relationships they form. And then I just want to wish very special congratulations to Mike and Don Clark. They are going to enjoy retirement as of the end of this month, and certainly have enjoyed their relationship and partnership and commitment, and wish them the very best in their retirement. We continue to just have a phenomenal year of co-curricular success, and I don't have all the list of names. I went on the MSHSL site several times over the weekend, and I just couldn't get the link to work. But our swimmers competed, I believe it was down in Morris, on Friday, Saturday, and just were extremely successful boys swimming. We're sending a representative in every swimming event except the 50 free. So congratulations to Coach Hansen and his staff and our Otter swimmers, and there will be a state send-off here this week to recognize them and wish them well. Congratulations to Levi Budke on his 75th win in wrestling, and earned that designation while he was competing in the section wrestling tournament. Zia Mara was our lone representative. They call her Zio, and our lone representative of the gymnastics program. She competed in the floor exercises, and Zio had just a phenomenal experience down there. Finished 7th, but what people have to keep in mind is there were almost 50 gymnasts competing in those floor exercises, and she's only a freshman. So phenomenal achievement. If you'll recall, she also went to state as a diver for our girls swim program. So congratulations to Zio on that achievement. And we have one wrestler moving on out of the section. Nolan Field placed 2nd in his weight division, and so he'll be competing down at the state meet later this week. And if you've never had a chance to see the state wrestling meet, it is a phenomenon. Multiple mats. There's probably, 10, 16 mats all going on at the same time, and whistles blowing and action going constantly. And it is a sight that everyone should experience it at least once in their lifetime. It's a very interesting and unique event. Then our students had a chance to have a guest artist. Paul Johnson was at Kennedy, and he was sharing with students some of the art of our very own Charles Beck from this community, and appreciate the support from the Cadets Galleries in making these kinds of experiences available to our students. And then Principal Hurst referenced the middle school math counts team. The high school math league wrapped up another successful season, 5 meets in which they took either 1st or 2nd place in every meet. We had 3 top 10 finishers: Trygve Ranovic, Jacob Jenk, and then also Eric Swanson. Eric Swanson had the distinction of being the #1 individual student in the math league from our division this year, and he will compete as an individual down at the state tournament coming up on March 16th. And so good luck to the Otters Math League students for a great season. And
Who coaches the math league team?
that is, yes, thank you, Miranda Steer. Same one that coaches the math counts.
Okay.
And there's a photo of them with their certificates and from the representing the team. And then we will have, this has been a long time coming, we will have a pool pre-construction meeting on March 11th, and that is in anticipation of the major renovation project going on with our pool beginning in April, and that will be concluded by the end of June. The
Jeff,
next,
where will that meeting take place?
that'll be, we are in the district conference room, so right across from my office.
Thank you.
And then the next Community Connections meeting will be Tuesday, March 3rd. We'll be in one of the side rooms off the community ed space from 5 to 6 p.m. And there'll be a nice segue into the concert later that evening for those that are interested in attending. And I have one more thing for you, but I will play that from my chair. But this would be a good time for any questions that you may have. All right, hang on. This is, some people may have seen it already, but it's super cute, and I really appreciate all the creativity and work that went into it. We'll get it going for the beginning.
Kindergarten, where the fun never gets old.
So that is just super creative, tons of fun, and what a wonderful way to market our district, and what a wonderful opportunity to see what kindergarten has to offer. So sincere appreciation to John and your staff for putting that together.
When I was dropping my daughter off for preschool that day, it was actually really fun to watch how many parents were very sternly telling their children that the canes that they're bringing into the building are not to be used on other students. It's pretty funny.
That was the day that I was there reading for the read month, and it was just fun because the kids would make it into a fit, you know, like, wait a minute, I thought you guys were supposed to be 5, you know, and then, I'm 102, I'm 102.
So funny.
Hips going, like,
Yeah.
some kids just got into
They
it.
really
It was fun to
did.
go back and forth. It was great. So,
All right, thank you, Jeff. We will now move on to the general consent items, which include the minutes from the February 9th meeting, as well as the bills from February 10th to the 23rd. I will pass that along to Steve for his report.
For the bills, we have total invoices of a little over 1.2 million. The majority of that cost is payroll, benefits, and taxes. We had some bigger expenses, natural gas bill of 51,000, the payment to the progress of the Cleveland roof of a little under 34,000. Wrote a big check for the music trip for $81,000. And bought a lawnmower for out of Lincoln. That will save us some. It'll actually kind of pay for itself by saving some money on contracting that out. And then some snow removal, of course. But other than that, we pay the bills.
All right. We also had some personnel changes, certified staff contract changes, including Jamie Lill, Leah Kowalska, Mackenzie Laughlin, and Brady Tostenson. I'm sorry if I butchered that. A couple support staff hires, Tracy Schreibner and James Thorstad, both for the special education paraprofessionals. And a couple support staff separations, including Gwen Schlesk and Kirsten Lenu. Again, both with special education paraprofessionals. Do we have a motion to accept the general consent items? Oh, I do? Oh, sorry, and our notice of intent to negotiate for the Fergus Falls Principals Association. Yes, so now I will welcome a motion to accept the general consent items.
So move.
And a second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. And the motion carries. All right, we have some unfinished business. During our last meeting, we closed and had our review of Superintendent Jeff Drake's evaluation. I think Melanie had something written up for this, but it was not passed along to me. But I will say that we found Superintendent Drake's performance to be satisfactory. and we are looking forward to another year of having him on board.
I think I'll just add that I think Melanie did meet with you
Yeah.
one-on-one.
I believe Melanie
Yep.
met with,
Yes.
and went over what we spoke about, and, yes, so, there is no action for that. Moving on to new business, we have finally, the 2026-2027 Fergus Falls School District calendar. I do want to mention, I know that the Meet and Confer Board, as Steve likes to say, met and conferred a lot on this. And I appreciate all the hard work that they put into it. Do we have a motion to accept the calendar?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second?
Any comments?
Is there a difference between the two?
Yep, so the first one has our, those are contracted days for the teachers. So this is more of an internal calendar, the first one on your list. The second one is the public calendar, because we didn't think that the teachers necessarily, or not teachers, that the public necessarily cared that much about.
And the third
seeing
one
all of
includes
them.
Saturdays and Sundays.
And yes, and then the third one, yeah. And the third, yeah, no, the third one is the same as the second one. It's just for people who don't want the new format. So if you see the calendar was formatted a little differently, in the past it's been a little more blocky. And so we formatted it so it's a little easier to read, but we did have a few members of the community that wanted the original calendar. So we do have that one available if change is hard. But yes, so we do that is the 3 different calendars that are on here. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
And I think just, some dates of interest, starting September 1st. So
Yep.
we'll be starting 4 days before Labor Day because of the way the calendar falls. We also are going to go to school 2 days, the 21st and 22nd of December. So it's not a complete 2-week break at Christmas. And graduation is 27th and 20th of May. And even with 3 possible snow dates, we're still done before June.
Yep. And I do believe Jeff and Steve, I think, can speak on this because they were on the Meet and Confer committee, but we also reduced the amount of conference
We did.
time, correct, too? Awesome, because we were, from what I understand, way above average for both regionally and statewide for the amount of hours that we were putting aside for conferences. So we kind of reduced that to put that a little more on par. Yeah, so with that, I will have the clerk take roll.
Do I?
Right?
No.
No.
Just a vote.
Just kidding. Okay, sorry, guys. I'm really new at this. Yeah, I kind of got
Okay.
thrown into this about 2 p.m. today. So yeah, if everybody who's in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. All right, and the calendar is approved. All right, and that concludes our regular meeting. And our next meeting will be on Monday, March 9th at 5:15 p.m. right here in the Community Ed Room of the Roosevelt Education Center. And I will now entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
And second?
Second.
All right, and we don't have to vote on that, so meeting is adjourned. We will now have a work session where we will be discussing cell phones and some personnel items. The principals are welcome to stay. We got extra pizza for you, and I made cookies. Yeah, so, and if anybody else wishes to stay, they